Kyrie Irving was flipping off Boston Celtics fans at the TD Garden in Game 1 between the Brooklyn Nets and the Boston Celtics, and I knew that this was going to be a major topic among these sports debate shows because A, it is Kyrie Irving. They were always looking to jab at any negativity that they can, and B, it gives them something to talk about, especially when it's just only the playoffs that's really the most popular sport going around besides MLB season starting up. But I'm not surprised. And my thoughts about the whole Kyrie Irving fan interaction, flipping off the fans at the TD Garden Arena. I mean, it's basketball. Like, again, this is just media just trying to pick something to talk about because they need topics, they need ratings, they just need networks and, airtime to fill up. But nonetheless, if anybody has been to any type of basketball game, you know that there's going to be fans that trash talk. It is common. But it doesn't hold the same weight for when players respond to the trash talk or some of the vulgar things that are said directly to their face or behind their backs because you're such a close proximity to them. You see, here's the thing. If you've never been to a basketball game before in your life and you saw that, and you would probably be on television like, oh my God, that's so wrong. He's on television doing these obscene gestures and giving middle fingers. There are hundreds of people in a basketball arena that are doing the same thing, that are giving middle fingers to players. You just don't see it because the camera's not on them. The camera is not focusing on the fans in the stands. It is focusing on the players performing on the court or on the field. You're not watching the fans clap and raise and boo and chant all these stuff. You're here to watch the players perform at the highest level. And so when Kyrie Irving did that, I was like, oh, here we go. First thing on SportsCenter. First thing on First Things First. First thing on Undisputed. First thing on any sports debate shows that you could talk about because they're going to try to find another way to pick at him. This is my thought. This was just another attempt for the media to just have something bad to talk about Kyrie, to find something bad that they could talk about Kyrie Irving. Now, if you don't know, obviously Kyrie Irving and Boston Celtics fans, it is a hate relationship. He said that he was going to re-sign with the Celtics. Then he decided no and left and came to Brooklyn. And now they've been so bitter towards him because they're like, well, how dare you leave us, Kyrie? But on the flip side, when a franchise, when an organization trades a player because they call it the best interest for the organization, fans don't care about it. Hell, they even applaud it sometimes. But when a player decides to take his own actions into his own hands and give the organization a taste of their own medicine for trading players unwillingly, then it's like, hold on, you can't leave us. This is like a dictatorship. We control what you do. And it's like, it doesn't work like that. Sorry, no. So this, this whole situation we talk about, well, we're going to boo you because you left us, but yet you don't boo organizations for trading players left and right and them having to get up and start a new life to change course, bring their families up to a whole new city. You don't boo that, but you boo a player who took the power in his own hands and said, I'm going to decide my destination, my future somewhere else. See, I have a problem with that. It's so hypocritical. But nonetheless, it is an issue about nothing just for them to talk about. Okay, listen, I have been in my fair share of NBA games before, and I've never sat courtside because I don't have that kind of money. And nonetheless, if I did, I probably won't be spending that kind of money just to sit courtside. I'll sit in the middle row. But I've been to a lot of basketball games, especially I went to college myself. And I went to a middle Division I school, not known, but I've heard some of the most outrageous and craziest things said at a college basketball game. This is not professional. This is a college basketball game. Some of the things that came out of people's mouth towards college kids. Remember, these kids are not even playing professional basketball. These are kids, 18, 19, 20, 21, that was said to them. I could imagine what was said, what was being said in a professional environment setting arena when it's an NFL, NBA, whatever game. I'm like, it's definitely 10, 20 times worse. And then I've been to a couple of NBA games myself and an NFL game myself. And I was sitting in the cheap seats. And even then, some of the things that the fans were saying towards the players that they didn't like were extremely vulgar. And I'm like, hold on. If you said that to their face, they would knock your ass out. But you're saying it at a very far distance because you know that they are protected. And if a player comes into the stands and wants to see if that fan's about it, then it's like, nah, I'm good. You don't want to mess with somebody who's 6'4", 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", weighs about 200 plus pounds. You don't want that kind of smoke. But see, here's the thing. I'm all for fans talking trash. I've talked trash at games before, okay? It is part of the interaction and it's part of what makes a game competitive. You pay your hard-earned money to go and watch the fans. Hell, the fans are the one making the players richer because without the fans, half the product wouldn't even be relevant. But nonetheless, the fans pay their hard-earned money, their hard-earned ticket to go. And yes, you are allowed to trash talk. You're allowed to say you suck, all that type of stuff. But there's just certain things that you don't say in terms of like talk about somebody's mama, their family, their kids. Obviously, we all know that's just something you don't do because then you really you really enter in a danger zone that you don't want to be in. But Kyrie didn't complain. Kyrie's like, listen, cool. They could talk they trash. They could tell me I suck. They could call me all these names, call me the P word, the B word, all that type. Cool. That's a part of the gig. As long as they don't get out of bounds, talk about my wife, my kids, all that, saying anything racial, I'm cool with it. But just know the same energy that they giving me, I'm going to give back to them. And he gave it back to them 20 times when he dropped 39 on their ass. Now, it came in a loss, but just think about it. He probably going to use that as more fuel and motivation towards game 2. But Kyrie also did this on the flip side. He gave Boston Celtics fans more fuel and animation for game 2 because they know. It's like, wait a minute. Our trash talk bothered him. So let's amp me up a little bit. Let's turn up the dial just a little bit more to see what we could get away with. To kind of get it in sight, kind of get it in his hand. So we could give our Boston Celtics a little bit more advantage for game 2 and hopefully go up 2-0 in the series. So it's a good thing because it's like he wasn't bothered by the trash talk because he dropped 39 points. But now you gave Boston Celtics fans even more of a reason to say some more egregious and heckle you even more. So it's like, I'm not opposed to what Kyrie said because he's like, listen, I ain't complaining. I'm giving the same energy back that y'all giving me. Y'all give me the bird, I'm going to give y'all the bird back. But you're just like, hold on, Kyrie. This stuff bothers you. It's getting to your head because you had to talk about it in the post-game conference. Let's turn this up a little bit more. Let's see what we can get away with. Let's say a little bit more extra to see if we get in your head even more so we can help our team win game 2. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Was Kyrie Irving flipping the Boston Celtics fans? And he definitely said some other stuff too. I believe backstage, where it was on TikTok, where somebody told Kyrie you suck and he told him to SMD. He's definitely going to get fined for that because we know anything about the NBA. They are soft as cottonelle tissue. We saw what they did against Patrick Beverly. They fined him, I believe it was like $25,000 just for a couple curse words he said in a win against the Clippers to get into the playoffs. So they definitely going to fine Kyrie Irving at least a good $30,000, maybe $40,000 for the gesture, for the backstage incidents, and the whole other hand gestures and antics and stuff that he was saying towards the Celtics fans. Listen, it's playoff basketball, okay? NBA is soft as hell, but that's just the league that we're in. Everything's, a flagrant foul, technical foul. You can't say anything anymore. But let me know what you guys think down. Was Kyrie Irving flipping off the Boston Celtics fans right, wrong, or justified? Worlds TV, I'm out.